Welcome to a topper chat. It's been a while since we've had one of these. I think we're due for a new experience here. So Uniwigs has sent me yet another human hair topper. This one is so much different than my Melanie Mono in both the coverage, and I'll just talk about that here in a sec. So let's take a look at this right now. This is still in Almond Frost. I do love Almond Frost. I think I'm ready to try a different color, and I have been seeing Uniwigs come out with quite a few different colors, especially in that blonde arena, and I'm kind of a little excited about that. Anyway, this has definite box hair. Let's keep that in mind. I will probably have to either take some heat to it, maybe get it a little damp and deal with that, but here it is. Now, it's quite long. I will be trimming it for sure, and I know I've actually had a few of you, well, one particular comment saying, I can't believe you're trimming this. This is human hair. My goodness, the time it takes these people to grow their hair and get it cut, and then you're just trimming it off. Well, here's the thing. I look at toppers as kind of a blank slate, and especially the human hair toppers. But even the non-human hair, the synthetic toppers, if the length's not right for you, trim it to make it where it is. Put a little layer in it, whatever you need. And especially the human hair, I feel like this is just a starter piece for me. This is like kind of the starting point. And so I'm gonna trim it to make it work for me. And even with human hair, you could even color it. So do not be afraid to make these toppers work for you. Especially in length, because if you're like me and you're not comfortable wearing a really long length and you have no desire to grow your hair out that long, then you're gonna have to trim these. So you're gonna wanna get yourself, a stylist that feels comfortable doing that for you, or take the plunge and do it yourself. It's not really that hard at all. And anyway, so I was a little confused over that little comment there. It was quite a while back, but whatever. So anyway, this is human hair Almond Frost, but the cool thing, and this is my first experience with a silk top. So this is a silk top, which is different than the mono tops that I have worn in the past, both in my wigs and toppers. So the big thing with silk tops is it's supposed to really be the most natural looking scalp that you can get. Even more so than the mono tops, the monofilament tops. And so we'll take a look at that. You can part this anywhere, of course, anywhere in this whole cap here. Now, I do have to say, it takes a little finagling to do that, because the part that you get it in when it arrives is in there. You know what I mean? It's like set in there. And so the only way you're gonna get it to change up is if you do a little bit of heat setting yourself, or you can do what I did, which this actually, I have gotten this under the sink and I've gotten it wet, and then I kind of put the part in where I wanted it, and I just kind of let it dry by itself. So, you don't have to do that though. I didn't wash it, I didn't put shampoo in it or anything, but you don't have to do that. You can just put a little bit of heat on it, just a little bit, press that new part in. I think I've seen Uniwigs either on Instagram or something demonstrate how you can easily take like a very lukewarm curling iron, maybe one that has the 1.5 to 2 inch, why can't I not think of it, barrel, and then you can place that part where you want it, and you can kind of warm that up, lay it on there, and then just press it down and do that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and look at the difference in the cap coverage between this and the Melanie Mono. So here's the Melanie Mono. Now there's just no comparison when it comes to coverage. This has the monofilament top here, plus it has several wefts of additional hair. So there's a lot of bulk here, there's a lot of hair, and a lot of coverage. So these are nice, even if you don't maybe need this much coverage, but these are nice if you don't particularly want to take the time to match your hair perfectly to the color of the topper. I mean, you know, within reason. This has so much coverage that you can work your own hair in really well, and it's great. So this is the mono top, and I loved mono tops. I have not had anything else, however, but I have had no complaints with mono tops in both my wigs, hair pieces, whatever. Love, love, love. So, I mean, straight away we look and we have obviously less coverage, but however, with that said, this is a very generous cap. It's going to cover pretty much that whole top of your head here. Let's go ahead and put this on. Keep in mind that I do have some box hair here. Maybe I put it in the box when it was a tiny bit damp. I don't know. So let me take this one off. I've already put my fill-in powder all around the perimeter of my hairline like I do. So this is not gonna stretch for you, you know, when you have those little extra wefts, you can take the clip and stretch it down a little bit. You don't have to do that with these because you don't have those little extra wefts, so you just wanna kind of take them and grab your hair really gently. Now again, guys, I did wet this down. I let it dry by itself so I can create a whole different part because the one that was in here, for two reasons, I didn't like it. And I'll tell you why. Because when you get these, and a lot of people like this is just me, please keep that in mind. But the parts in there, it's very flat, and it just sits just like that. And a lot of people do like that. If you've been watching me for any time whatsoever, you know I like to get any fiber, whether I'm wearing a topper or a wig, I like to get those fibers, human hair, other, whatever, off the cap, whatever that cap is. I like to get it kind of off. I don't like it to just hug that cap all the way down. And toppers are notorious for that for me. And so I really like to, either with product, if they're not heat friendly, I do other means to get it to get off the cap a little bit. So that's just me. Again, it's not something that you have to do. You'll find whatever your little quirks are, the longer you're on your helper hair journey, and you'll deal with that. So let me get in here now. Oh, okay. And get this part situated. Okay, so is that too far, do you think? Too far to the side? I'm not sure. Remember to adjust these so they are not tight on your head. There is no reason for that. It's just a false, I think, a false sense of security when you can feel it pulling your hair. You feel like, okay, it's on, it's not gonna move. Please don't worry about that. You don't need that tight feeling with your toppers for them to really be okay. Okay, so let's not forget we have box hair here, and if that's really bothering us, I can straighten that a little bit, I think. So obviously, it kind of starts getting a little stringy here at the end, I noticed, and that isn't an issue for me because I'm gonna cut this, I'm gonna trim this. I've also just recently trimmed my hair. I trimmed about this much off my hair, but I need to have a little bulk here at the bottom, you know, because this would be great if my hair was much longer than this, and because it's so wispy at the end, it would really work in nice, but I don't know, I just like a certain look, and that's something I am happy about, is that I get to trim so much off of this because I think it will help to give a little bit more of a bulk down here. I don't like how stringy this is, and even if my hair was a little longer, I think I would have to do something about that. So that's an easy fix, to be honest, because we can definitely, I plan on trimming this anyway. I feel like there is some real potential with this. I'm getting kind of excited here, guys. Yeah, I'm really feeling this. And the fun thing about these human hair toppers, you guys, you can just stick them on your head, make sure you're not pulling them, and just kind of style them right when they're on your head. That's what I like to do. But if you don't have the dexterity to do all of that, which I totally get it, man, these days I don't have the range of motion I used to at all, and you can just get one of those cork heads. Let me show you mine. Get yourself one of these, okay? You buy this usually separate, and I put a little bit of tissue at the bottom to keep this from rolling around on here. And this is kind of cork, you know, and you put that on here. This secures right on your counter. This one isn't particularly, I think, the best I could get because it will kind of pop off every now and then. I kind of have to keep on resealing it on my counter. It can be a little annoying. But I pin my wigs or my toppers on here, and I can style it on here, put it on my head after maybe I've done what I need to do with my bio hair to make it all work, and then I can, you know, do a little extra things to work it in. That way you're not having to just do it all on, it's just kind of how I do it. But anyway, these come in handy, you guys, very handy. Don't dry your wigs on these or your toppers. Get one of these racks. This is a drying rack, and you need to have these, and I dry my wigs on these all the time. I'll drape my toppers over this. If I want to dry it for a little bit upside down to get the kind of the fibers off the cap halfway through, I'll do that, and then the rest of the way I'll drape it over here. But anyway, these are great. These are really great to have. Gonna need heat protectant, even though this is human hair topper. Too much excessive use of heat on even human hair, whether it be a wig or a topper, it's going to break it down and it's going to get very dry and gross. So it is important to do some treatments on those human hair fibers as well by deep conditioning every so often, and definitely use some form of a heat protectant for your human hair right before you're getting ready to style it with heat. So now you guys, they do make this HD detangler, I want to say, also in the human hair form by Jon Renau. I don't have it. Look how much I have. I use this on my toppers that are human hair and it works great. Haven't had any damage done by them. Or you can do something like, it's a 10 leave-in conditioner. This is something that's also a great heat protectant on your human hair fibers only. I wouldn't use this on synthetic, but I use this on my human hair right before I take heat to it as well. And you can do that, spritz it around before you get it on, or you can do it when you get it on as well. So I'm just gonna kind of do it a little bit here. Kind of get that on, not too much, but I do want to get some. That feels good. So I'm gonna brush this through. Okay. Now, obviously this is gonna need to be trimmed, but I kind of want to straighten it first, even if I decide to curl it later. That way, when I'm trimming it, I'm not fighting this box hair situation so much. So I'm gonna just take a piece. My goal here is just really at this time, because this is already pretty straight, is I just want to get this box hair gone so we can give it a fair once over. And again, I think I created this box hair. I thought it was completely dry. Very possible that it was a tiny bit damp when I put it back in the box. So here we go, guys. This gives us a little bit better kind of look at this hair. So let's take a look at this silk top. I have kind of a messy part going on. I kind of like that, but sometimes, you know, it's better if you have a nice clean part when you're wearing a topper. It kind of brings it home more that this is real. So let's clean that up. So there is the toppers part. Right through here is my own part. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Again, I don't really have an issue. I don't really have an issue with the mono tops either, but everybody raves about these silk tops and how realistic they look, and I have to say that's pretty amazing. Okay, so I am really anxious. Should we take one look here at the back? Did I get any of the box hair out back here with that? I couldn't see. Okay, so yeah, I do think that we we got rid of really a good amount of that box hair back there. Let me see how in frame I am here. Do I have to go this way? Yes. So see how it really gets kind of wispy and almost dry looking? Yeah, so I feel like that can be remedied pretty easy. I'm going to be trimming it. Again, when it does wisp out like this, it does make it easier to blend in with your own hair because you don't have this blunt edge and then your own hair, because I've trimmed almost every single one of my toppers, and so when my hair gets longer it's quite obvious. Whereas if it is nice and wispy here at the end, then you can curl it into your own hair and it just sort of disappears. But I do kind of like a more blunt edge, and so I'm really going to just trim that off right now. I think I have my scissors in here even. So I'm going to deal with that right now. I'm kind of excited to do that just so we can get to styling this in a way. So it's so thin and fine, I really don't think I'll have to section it off too much. Let me say this though, these fibers feel very soft and very silky. The ends, they do get a little bit, you know, like they've been almost like a little over processed. But boy, that's realism, isn't it? I mean, I think that is realism. I don't know if it's the realism we want, but let me get my scissors. So I'm gonna do this really quickly. I have another video online that shows you how to do this. This is not gonna really need to be sectioned, I don't think, too much, because I can see through it pretty well. We'll see. I'll get a clip or two just in case. And I'm not going to really talk through this step this much. I will put the link to that video down below in the description box so you can take a look at that. Let's get to cutting.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
kind of chop into them so they're not quite so blunt. I have to do that over this trash can or it would be a huge, gigantic mess. And I have so much crud on this counter right now, you guys. And that's because I am redoing my my recording room and I have all my stuff here in the bathroom. So it's pretty bad right now. I have to get to the back of this. I haven't done that yet. Another thing that you can do is you can part it down the middle, bring it to the front, and pay attention to where, see, that's my hair right there. You can see it right through there. So I'm just gonna cut this right a smidge, probably about 1/4 of an inch longer than my own hair. I just find that's kind of a safe thing to do in general. And I'm gonna cut that off, and I can even kind of chop it a little bit into there. I'm gonna do that now to the other side. And there's that piece right there. I'm going to take it in and cut that off. All right. So what I have found is that I like to wear my human hair toppers with a little bit of a curl. It helps it to kind of blend in better with my own hair. So I'm going to get my 1.5 inch, it's either 1.5 or 2.5 inch. I think it's 1.5 inch barrel curling iron warmed up, and then I'm going to start curling this. So I have my curling iron warming up here. I've explained before in that other video that I do like the ones that you can adjust the temperature on. This is just a very generic, inexpensive one I got off of Amazon, and it works great. Okay, so again, I already have the heat protectant on, and I'm gonna keep this on while I style my hair here. So as I did with my other video, I'm pretty much gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna take sections and basically just start curling this and seeing what we get. Okay, I am going to put a little bit of hairspray in now. And I'm running out. So this is actually hairspray I use on my wigs, and is the one by Beauty Mark, and it's called Style and Hold Hairspray. You can get this from namebrandwigs.com. That's where I purchased this. So let's see what we got here now, guys. Very pretty. It's very pretty. Yeah. I'm sweating a little bit. It's really warm in here for some reason. I'm going to curl this just a little bit more. I think I might actually go at it in this direction here. Oh yeah, see, even with just that little bit of hairspray, it definitely helps. Okay, and then I just kind of like to pick it up. It totally looks, it feels like my own hair. Oh, wow, guys. I'm loving this. I am loving it. Wow. Pretty. Really, really pretty. Oh, I'm going to put a little bit. I get so excited when I get new hair. Oh my God, this is so fun, you guys. So fun. I'm going to put a a few extra little curls in here. I feel like this side's got a little bit more movement into it. So I'm just being careful again that I'm not pulling this and hurting my own bio hair. It's technically not recommended you style these with your topper on. So I'm just gonna stress that again. Please, please, please pay extra careful attention to that. Okay, look at that. Let's see what the back looks like. I know I'm gonna have to put a few more curls in. You see? Doesn't that look nice? I am loving this, you guys. We got a little funky something doing on right there. It's got that little tail thing on it. Let me re-secure this again. Again, it's not tight, you guys. I'm going to use a little bit more hairspray, which is really kind of starting to run out on me. Isn't it pretty? You guys, I am loving this. Wow. Okay, so let's regroup about this, shall we? Let me shut my curling iron off. Okay, you guys. So here's the thing. If you didn't know any better, you would have probably taken this topper out, took a look at it, and sort of maybe got a little concerned over how it kind of looked there at the ends and how it got straggly and a little bit kind of dry almost looking, even though it feels not dry at all. It just, the amount of hair and the fibers that's sewn into that smaller cap is just not going to give you the density of, say, like the Melanie Mono that I showed you in the beginning of this video. But you guys, what that gives you is this realistic blend into your own hair. I trimmed it. I don't like the way these toppers look straight. I just don't. I think I can make them look more realistic, and it's fun for me to curl my hair and to style it because I can't do a lot with my own hair at all. So I enjoy that anyway. It doesn't take really any time. And look what we created from that topper. And those ends, even though they became blunt, I did kind of chop into the very ends. I didn't go through the trouble of doing that in the back yet, but I will. But you know, that helps definitely. I could even maybe go in and do that a little bit more. But the point is, even though it was fairly blunt, you know, my end of my own hair is kind of blunt, and it still gave me this very realistic blend. And that's what you want from a topper. So the moral of the story is, look at the coverage of that hair piece that you're looking at. Make sure it's what you need. Look into the different options. Do you want a mono top? Do you like the silk tops? I definitely recommend getting one of those, either a monofilament or a silk. And so those things are things that you need to worry about. And then of course the color. With the human hair, you can tweak that a little bit. I never do, but you could. But you really need to like that color. If the length isn't right, if there's something about it that style-wise that you would rather have, that's okay. You have your base unit. You can take that and go get it to work for you, either with a stylist, or if you're comfortable, you can do it yourself at home. And that's what you got to do when you look at these toppers, especially if you're like me and you're not looking for length. I've had people reach out to me and say, I can't find any toppers that aren't long. I don't want a long topper. Well, good luck. They do exist, but you're better off finding the coverage you want, the cap, what you want it to look like up here, the color, and then do it all to make it you. It's no different than wigs, guys. Make it you. I cannot be more happy with this. I love this length on me. I think it's much more becoming. I don't know, it's easier for me to deal with. The pluses to human hair are so many. This is one of them. They blend, they work into your own hair, I think, a lot better. However, with that said, I absolutely adore my Top Notch by Jon Renau, synthetic fiber, not even heat friendly. I absolutely love my Jon Renau HDXL, my easy part, you know, the HDXL, which is a heat-friendly fiber. I don't ever curl it. Love, love, love. But I have to say these definitely, you know, blend in more. You're not dealing with two different fibers, human and synthetic, you know. So they do tend to work really nicely into your own human hair, because that's what we have after all. So, and then I love the ability to make these look different all the time. And for me, that just means one day they'll be really curly, and then as the curl kind of falls out, I can do it a little differently, and it looks a little different, and I'll put hairspray in it. I don't style it all the time, you guys. I don't, as mentioned in a prior video when I styled my Melanie Mono. Isn't that the one I did it on? I don't remember. But nonetheless, yeah, I don't do that every time. I curl it pretty tight and good the first time in it, and I can do different things with it. And then in over maybe a couple week period, the curl kind of starts falling out, and then I'll recurl it again. But you know, this you can do different ways. You can style these different. You can, you know, I could pin this back, for instance, and, you know, do something cute like this. And it's to me the closest to that feeling of this is my own hair. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, I did this very, very quickly. I'll probably go in, spend a little bit more time on dealing with the haircut of this, but I just wanted you to see how you can transform these hair pieces. This is helper hair. And for goodness sake, those of you that have been dealing with different hair thinning issues, whether it's you know, alopecia, or your hair is just thinning a lot and you are really beside yourself, you could have, you know, PCOS, and you're dealing with what goes along with that. I have a daughter with that issue as well. Don't worry anymore. Don't worry anymore, you guys. You have options. I don't want you to spend any more time stressing over this hair issue. You don't need to. You don't need to anymore. That is what I hope that I am bringing to you through these videos, is that you have so many options depending on where you are in that thinning hair loss. And please don't stress about it anymore. It's fun. Have fun now. Go on your journey of your helper hair journey. Figure out what you need. Some will be hits, some will be misses. It is a journey, and it's not an inexpensive one, but Uniwigs has some of the most affordable human hair toppers. They have synthetic toppers as well, but specifically human hair toppers, they really do have some of the most affordable prices I have yet to see. So I feel like you can get a human hair option through Uniwigs and spend as much as if you were to go get, say, a synthetic Jon Renau. You know what I'm saying? So there are also financial options out there as well. Okay guys, I'm gonna let you go for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I really, really do hope that these are helpful for you. And I want you to have fun on your new journey. Don't stress about it anymore. Okay guys, stay young at heart, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.